I'll fill it right before the bell.
Atta boy.
I didn't buy too many.
What's this, man? Well, jam me up. Got people in here?
I still put the link on the story too.
All right. Can you guys hear me? My voice should be live, right? It says excellent connection. Very good. All right, so we'll start it up here. Just gonna go over the market today a little bit, see what happened today. We had a huge Monday yesterday. Should have known better. Everyone was getting way too happy about their winning long positions. I should have known to turn a little bit more profit taking, but I did take some light positions today just to see if we get follow through tomorrow. What we're watching here, the reason I watch ES futures, it's just like SPY, but it trades around the clock. So this is S&P, but it trades around the clock. The levels are a little bit different on this one. As you see, it's at 418 right now, 4180, and SPY is at 41823. So there's a little bit of a difference there just because ES trades around the clock and SPY does not. And what we seen today was yesterday we seen a lot of power come into tech and XLF was relatively sideways. Today we seen SPY right at the beginning of the day. I called it out in the group as soon as we lost. So I know you guys you guys are having some trouble with the levels. What I do basically for the SPY, QQQ, and the rest, what I do is overnight lows and highs every single morning. I just mark them out. So I literally just turn on extended hours. I mark a line right at the low of the aftermarket and right at the high of the aftermarket. That's a very simple range that you should be watching. Obviously, there's more levels in there that you want to watch. But just for beginners, it's a very easy way to watch the market. So I seen this morning, SPY was just barely hanging on to the overnight lows. We had this dip underneath, and then I said in the group that I'm holding off on new positions until SPY looks a little bit better. Why did I say that also? XLF was so weak today. XLF was the weakest sector by far, and I will show you what happened on XLF. We had this huge spike in the morning that tricked everyone into going long in financials, and then we just faded all day, as you see here. We stayed underneath VWAP. As soon as we broke under VWAP at 950 this morning, we have been under VWAP all day, showing super weakness. And you just see it's been dumping all day. QQQ held up a little better than SPY and XLF, which keeps me a little bit more bullish tech. Why do I say that? Because you see how I marked the overnight highs and overnight lows? QQQ actually closed above the overnight lows, which shows a little more bullish action in tech over financials and over SPY. So tomorrow, look for some follow through on tech. We will see what happens. XLF is super weak. Financials, I don't want to be a part of any financials. You had Tesla today. We had the spreads for Tesla and SQ. SQ's up nice. I think Tesla closed nicely, so we should be about a little bit green or maybe break even there. I'm still holding both of those just because of what I just said. I expect a little bit of follow through on QQQ tomorrow or tech. And we got Facebook today. Facebook was the strongest stock this morning. Why do I say that? While QQQ, SPY, and XLF were dumping, a lot of stocks were pulling back. Facebook kept its uptrend. For the rest of the day, obviously, we just went sideways. The reason I said there's news coming is because while all the market was dumping, Facebook was still going up. And then right after they announced the investor presentation, and it was another case of buy the rumors, sell the news. We didn't really sell off, we just kind of went sideways. So let's see what they say tomorrow. I think they will have something good to say tomorrow, but let's see what they say. You got Space. I took those Space puts today. I know a lot of people made money long on those calls that we had. But what happened is, what I seen is this 27.50 to 25.50-ish level, this $2 range, is a big resistance here, in my opinion. As you see, if you zoom out all the way, you see a lot of times the candles, when we get into there, it's a big sell-off. So before it was resistance, then it turned into support here. And you know, once something crosses through resistance or support, when it comes back through the other way, it flips. So this support turned into resistance now. And I think, just in my opinion, Space still doesn't have any profits. They already had the news. They already had the test flight. I don't see any what else positive they can really say until they're making money in their earnings. So I took some Space puts. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe we get some follow through to the downside. There wasn't anything spectacular in this. It was just kind of sideways, just like the rest of the market. The little pop and then just sideways all day. We'll see if we get that follow through overnight. You got this ANAT that I called out. The reason I didn't take this one is because it's very illiquid, meaning there's only 50K shares traded per day. So say if I wanted to jump in this one and I took a big position, I could probably move the stock by myself, and that's not ideal, because you never know, like a bank could come in and buy this right after me and they'll move the stock price by themselves. So I always like to trade a little more liquid stocks for that very reason. Just because one person could come in and change the whole chart completely. So this one I kind of avoided. If I did want to take it short, I wouldn't take puts, I would take shares. And it's for that same reason, because puts and that is just so illiquid, you're going to get a wide bid and ask spread. You got Snowflake here, we're still waiting for that. I think they got earnings tonight, I believe, along with NVIDIA. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think they're tonight. And Snow is just in no man's land. It had this huge bounce. And now we're back in that range that I was saying. From 244 to 230 is just a big supply range. As you see here, every time it gets up there, it just sells off. People are selling shares up here and buying shares down here so far. So let's see if we have some good earnings. Let's see if we can get through 244 or 243.50, 244 area. If we get through there, I think it blasts off because all the shorts will have to cover there. Shop, I sent all these levels in the group today. I told you 1280 to 1300 is a tough resistance here. Today we got that pullback. Let's see if we get one more day of consolidation. Let the moving averages catch up, and then we should blast through 1300. That Google News is very big, as I keep telling you every day. But no chart just goes straight up. As you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days straight up. One red day and everyone starts flipping out and saying the market's good bearish, you know. So just chill out, relax. Nothing's wrong with Shop. As you see here too, 3 days up, 3 days sideways, 3 days up. So a lot of times that will happen. Just charts do need consolidation. It doesn't matter how good the news are. You got Palantir here. Palantir was super bullish this morning, as you see on the 5-minute chart. And again, we're just waiting for 2250 on this one. I sent the level this morning. 2250, over that, the shorts should start covering and we should blast off. Let's see what happened. This morning, Palantir was the strongest chart after Facebook, or probably alongside Facebook. And then all day again, we just sold off, gave it all back, and just went sideways all day. It had a huge move already. If you look at the daily, there's nothing worrying to me on these charts yet. So we've had these huge bounces. Nothing is fixed, obviously. This is still daily higher lows and higher highs. So right now, we're just looking to put in a lower high right here. Oh, sorry, I meant lower lows and lower highs. So if you look at and most of these daily charts still, even Palantir, you see this higher high, or no, this high, then this low, then a lower high, then a lower low, and now we're trying to form that lower high again. And then we'll see if we can hold this low, then we'll consolidate and we'll try to break the daily lower highs, and we'll try to change the trend back to the bulls here. But there's still a lot of work to be done on a lot of these charts. Like for example, SE, the same thing. So even though these bounces are wicked, right now all we're doing is we're trying to set lower highs here, because we're not going to go straight from this low all the way to higher highs. We have to consolidate, we have to change the trend. And the thing with consolidation is we want to see low volume consolidation. If we see high volume consolidation, these lows can get broken again. Don't think we're bullish yet. We're just kind of in a chop zone right now. We're trying to set higher lows right now. Then we have SLV here. Still, like I said, we're still in this range. I still believe in inflation. I'm still going to hold all my metals. Why am I going to hold on my metals? As long as it's in this channel, it's perfectly healthy to me. We've seen a bunch of flow on gold today. I've seen a couple flow calls on silver as well. I think people still have that inflation narrative in their head. It's just a bunch of rotation going on right now. But I will continue to hold these metals for at least a couple of months probably. We got Faye here, a little bit pullback today. Daily candle looks not so good, but I mean, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 straight bullish days, and then you get one little red day and people panic. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's not time to panic in my opinion. Even if we have 1 or 2 days of consolidation, it's not a big deal. That's a perfectly healthy consolidation. And as you see here, the RSI even touched 68, which is almost overbought. So it's just due for a little consolidation. Right now everything's healthy. Look at the small volume on this. Look at SE daily. Look at that. There's no one selling this. Look how much bull volume came in the last 6 days. Look at the size of these candles. And then look at how many sellers came in today. This is basically just buyers drying up. This is not sellers stepping in. So everything's healthy on these charts so far today, in my opinion. And then you got GME. This was probably you guys seen me call it out live, everything. I explained exactly what was happening to you. The options were mispriced. The market makers priced them way wrong, which told me that we were going to short squeeze. Why are we going to short squeeze? Because the market makers would have had to buy shares to hedge those underpriced options. So that's why I called it out here at 169 6 days ago. I fully told you guys we're going to squeeze to 200. And in literally 6 days, you got 30 points on equity, which is insane. Actually, 40 points on equity if you held till today. I still have a little bit of position left. I did sell a lot of it because I like taking profits, especially on companies like GameStop. I don't trust this company at all. So I was piecing out along the way. I still have a little less than a quarter position left, and I will continue to hold that to see if we can get some follow through on GameStop here. We got Bitcoin today. I took a little short this morning. That was, I had a winner, but I just wasn't watching. I was watching the news for stocks. And what happened there was we had this big volume shelf here at 37-ish. That's where I took the trade. I had this big gain, and then I let it go to zero because I was like watching other stuff. But it's not a big deal. I'll get back in sometime. Bitcoin and all these cryptos, I expect a lot more volatility for a while. If you look at this 15-minute chart, this was such a clean, right here, such a clean head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder, breakdown. So just watching these charts, it's very easy to see what's going to happen next. Everyone thinks like it's hard to watch this kind of stuff. It's very easy if you just follow charts alone. You'll be a much better trader. If you just ignore the noise and watch the charts tell you all the price action. They tell you what investors are thinking. And today we got these SQ spreads. I think me and Ricky took them. A lot of people in the group took them actually. Why did I take them? That was big news yesterday. When they announced they're becoming a bank, that's a lot more revenues that's going to come in for them. And then obviously the chart had bottomed at 200. Like I showed you guys, I don't know if I showed you today or in the group, or maybe yesterday, I don't remember. But we have this very clear buying zone here down at 200, and we have a very clear selling zone at 278. So what do? Every time it goes to 278, you either short or sell your position. Every time it goes to 200, you go long and just hold it. So it's very clear charts right here. SQ is very clear. We took some spreads. I think they're up like 50% at the close. They were up close to, what, 70% today, Ricky?
65, 60.
Yeah, at the top today we were up at 60-65%. I decided to hold because I do think this one, the news is a little bit better than people realize, and we'll look for some follow through tomorrow. And it's right next to the moving average. This one is not extended, where at the same point SE is like way over the moving averages. So SQ has some follow through yet to go in my opinion, and we'll see what happens there. We have this Airbnb I called out this morning. I did take a light position in this one just because SPY was under the overnight lows like I told you guys. And we're just watching this little wedge down here. It's an ugly chart, I'm not going to lie. But Airbnb is a good company. I think the shareholders' lockup expiration is gonna be done soon. Like the sellers are gonna be done soon. And if we do get a reversal here, there is a lot of supply on top. But since it's so beat down so quickly, you got the daily oversold. I think the weekly is oversold as well. No, the weekly is not oversold just because it's brand new stock. But the daily is oversold. The 4 hours should be just about oversold. And once this thing bounces, I expect a big bounce. So I'm just going to be in and out quick. As soon as I see that bounce, I'm out of here. Today was a weekday. Started off good, but then at the end of the day, there kind of started going down a little bit. As you see here. Not too bad. I mean, it closed right next to 134. I'd rather it close around 136, but now it's even more oversold. So we'll see if we get that bounce tomorrow and get out. You got CWH. I called out this one too today. Why did I call this one out? A lot of people were asking me. This chart is amazing for me. I love this chart. It's a very clear channel. It's very clearly at support. They just had earnings. They beat their earnings big time. They guided up, and it's just an unknown stock. And obviously, the reopening plays were getting love today, like the airlines, the cruise lines, all that kind of stuff. And this is a camping stock. So what do you think people will do when they get released from their prisons, which is their homes, or lockdown, whatever? They're going to buy RVs, they're going to buy camping equipment, they're going to go camping, obviously. So I think if this one gets some flow in there, people start understanding or realizing what this stock is, because it's very unknown. I think this one can fly, and we have room all the way up to 52. We bought the $42 calls today for June 11th, so it gives us time. And it's a great chart. So great risk to reward. If this one closes underneath $39, I'll be out of those calls. We got NVIDIA with earnings tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. We had this very clear channel break. They announced that they were splitting during earnings. So I did take a couple of shares today. I did start a position actually in my retirement account. I love NVIDIA long term. I think it'll be a $1 trillion company. So I don't really mind where my first buy is too much, because I'm going to be holding this for 5 years plus. And when they split the stock, my shares will be 6x what they are. And what happened last time was there's no way to tell what's going to happen. I think they announced their split here, so it hasn't really priced in the split yet. When Tesla announced their split, it ran up huge before the split. When Apple announced their split, it ran up after the split. So you don't really know what's going to happen with the news. It's either buy the rumor, sell the news, or it's flat rumors, buy the news. So we'll see what happens. I'm not worried about this one at all. I still have a bunch more shares I want to add, and we'll see if we get that dip so I can add. But we will watch for the earnings. Also, Biden said he was going to help out semiconductor chips. If he announces something like that, I think we absolutely rip on the semis. IQV, again, this is the nothing chart. This was called out by Tanuj. It's a great bull flag breakout. It's just technical analysis 101. So that's all I wanted to show you on this one. Anyways, I hope you guys had a green day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.